Christmasing. 2, 6. No, don't strangle me. No, this one wasn't bad though. Aww. Oh, what you guys can't see is that she's kicking me.
All I can say is, I'm so glad that I finally saw the interview where Jim Davis admitted, is it Jim Davis?
Yeah.
Who admitted that he invented Garfield not to be funny or to be good, but simply to sell merchandise.
Yeah, he sold the merchandising rights right away. Actually, I think he came into conflict with Bill Larson, who draws Calvin and Hobbes, because he has always staunchly refused to merchandise. Like in the 80s, everyone's like, oh, don't you want to do like a TV series, a movie? Oh, we can have t-shirts and stuff like that. He said, no. So like every Calvin peeing on a Ford logo decal that you see, any Calvin and Hobbes merchandise is bootleg. Because besides the actual books, he's never licensed any products. Because, you know.
Yeah. So,
Jim Davis.
The fact that Jim
Davis still alive, though.
I think so.
Yeah,
so the fact that Garfield's not meant to be good means I suppose it makes me less automatically angry.
We watched a Garfield Christmas special, by the way. Well, you knew that. You clicked on the video. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's how Garfield without Garfield, that webcomic became really popular.
It's so much better.
It's just very existential that John is psychotic. I just talked to him. Now, I gotta confess that I was a big fan of Garfield when I was little.
Oh, no.
Well, I grew up in the 80s.
Oh,
how could
no.
you not be?
Oh no, growing up in the 80s, you poor
I had like all the books. Like there was like the wide format books, if you're old, you know what I'm talking about.
You're not
there
making
was like,
it any better.
Honey, there were over 150 of them. I even had, and actually I sold on eBay, was one of the things that I kept to sell when I had a whole bunch of stuff in my parents' house. And back in 2006, I went to visit, and I had my dad sell some stuff on eBay, was the now out of print Garfield's 9 Lives, where each life was done by a different comic and a cartoonist in a different style.
You're not making it any better.
I'm not ashamed. A lot of people like Garfield.
I'm glad Lorenzo Music got work.
Yeah, he's cool.
After he got shafted by, ironically, by Bill Murray.
Well, this was 87, so I don't think he'd been shafted yet.
Oh no, yeah.
Alright.
He'd
be shafted later.
Because allegedly, Lorenzo Music was the voice of Peter Venkman in the real Ghostbusters, and allegedly Bill Murray made some sort of comment about how he doesn't sound anything like him, and so Lorenzo Music got fired and got replaced by this new guy, who allegedly sounded more like Bill Murray. And then, of course, ironically, Bill Murray ended up playing Garfield in the live-action things.
And then Lorenzo Music, I think he died of throat cancer, didn't he?
I don't know.
In the 90s. At some point in the 90s.
But, so anytime
Christmas!
Lorenzo Music has a very pleasant voice. He doesn't do he never acts very much. He's just sort of like, I'm Lorenzo Music. Hi.
Maybe he's just that laid back. Maybe he found Nirvana. And,
he's basically like Steven Universe's dad.
No, Greg can get pretty fired up.
No.
You've just only seen 5 episodes.
No. Okay, Lorenzo Music is Steven Universe's dad crossed with Homer Simpson.
No, yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, so no, I was a big fan of Garfield when I was little, because there used to be the show, and like I said, you had all the comic books, and I remember once being really little, like maybe 4 or 5, and we were driving up to Long Island, because I had some relatives up there.
Was it a long drive?
Well, it was 4 hours, and if you were a child under the age of 5, that might as well be the rest of your life. Like now, a 4-hour car ride, okay, it's basically the bus ride for people.
As long as it's not going to Dublin on the fucking bus,
Pretty much.
Handle it.
Well, no, because it's just early in the morning. I don't mind the bus to Dublin any other time. It's early in the morning. It makes me feel sick. But anyway, yeah, so it's basically the bus from Derry to Dublin. But yeah, so I remember, we were quite close, about 2 miles away. And again, when you're a kid, miles sounds like a really huge distance. And I said, how long is it? How long? And my mom was like, just 2 more miles. I'm like, 2 more miles? That will take 2 hours. Mom's like, no, it won't. It'll take like 2 minutes. We're almost there. And I said, be still, my beating heart. And we're stopped at a stoplight. And they both turned around and looked at me. And they said, what did you say? And I was like, nothing. And they were like, where did you hear that? And I said, Garfield said it. Okay. What do you think that means? That I am excited and I want my heart to stop beating so fast because we're almost there and I'm happy and I'm excited. Because I didn't know what sarcasm was. So that's why Garfield will always hold a special place in my heart for teaching...
In your beating heart.
Yes, for teaching me what sarcasm was. My poor parent... What?
Oh, amusingly, one of my videos, I can't remember which one it was, got a comment from someone saying that my reviews are very, very useful for teaching. The person said that they were Spectrum, and I was helping teach them sarcasm.
Fair enough. Well, I am Spectrum, and it took me a long time to get that kind of thing. So.
No, really.
But anyway, so this one was one of her favorites because it was only 24 minutes long. Right back up. Come on, Christmas.
You hurt me intellectually and emotionally with Christmas, and now you do it physically? Why do you cause the pain?
Now that's your own fault for thumping against the wall. I had nothing to do with it. But this one was only like 24 minutes long. Sometimes I get kind of annoyed at the people who obviously upload this from... Come on. You're not getting out of it that easy. Well, obviously upload this stuff from the old VHS and don't include the original commercials. Because they're sometimes the best part. Like,
American TV is mad and has like commercials every like 5 minutes.
It does. And somebody, I forget who, so someone on Facebook, or a friend of mine on Twitter was going off and off about, McDonald's and how their adverts are so hollow and things and stuff, and, the I'm loving it jingle is stupid, and...
Their chips are hollow.
Yeah, they are, though. And I shared that there will only ever be one McDonald's advert for me, and that one played in the late 80s, and it's a song about dancing to a Big Mac at McDonald's.
There is only one advert for McDonald's in my heart, and that's Mac and Me.
Now I'm going to have that jingle in my head for, the rest of time. I'm going to be old. I'm going to be old and, have dementia or, be in a home or something, and they're going to find me wandering the street, and I won't know my address, but I'll still be able to sing, a McDonald's jingle from the mid to late 80s. It's a good time for the great taste at McDonald's. Bing.
Okay, so Garfield is dragged across America to go to this farmhouse. No, he's dragged across
the states. They've driven probably about a few hours. From the city, okay, they live in the suburbs, to the farmlands.
They get driven miles and miles and miles.
It's only a few hours.
Garfield, Garfield and Odie have no say in this, and so they can do Christmas-related human shit. And
Odie seems pretty happy about it.
I totally emotionally understand, being forced by your loved ones to do stuff for something involving Christmas that you have no understanding or concept for.
It's not about Christmas.
It's about the killing.
It's about ad revenue. No, it's not, because I make very little ad revenue.
It's not about the killing.
3
it's about
pence
family.
A video. I know. He's not about the killing. So anyway, so John, with his stereotypical John enthusiasm, brings his pets for Christmas at the farmhouse with his parents, his younger brother, Doc Boy, who, despite being
Bob Hoskins,
younger than him, he's short and fat and balding. Which is kind of weird. It looks exactly like the dad.
Yeah. I concluded that John's mum had an affair at some point.
Or that he takes after his mother's side.
Or that his mum had an affair at some point.
Yeah, I think I heard that's fan canon somewhere, that the idea that his mum had an affair.
Possibly had an affair with Odie. No. I don't know.
And then there's Granny, and we're not sure if the grandmom is the dad's mom or the mom's mom. That's not made clear. I want to say it's the dad's mom, because... the mother never calls her mom, and they have kind of a kitchen rivalry thing going on that would fit the idea of a daughter-in-law and
emotionally, she more resembles the dad.
Yeah.
My only issue is, you've got the farmhouse in this snowy place, and she seems to be from somewhere she seems to be like some degree of southern. And
she could be from the deep south.
She could be. But
well, honey, keep in mind that it used to snow in places like Tennessee and Kentucky. And
I'm saying that it doesn't.
Midwest.
That Garfield, the rest of it doesn't seem to be set in the South. It seems to be set, I'm guessing, somewhere near New York.
We don't know that.
And that's what I'm guessing.
If you know, write the show.
And so I'm thinking that what
but
must
she
have
obviously
happened...
maybe the father was like a New England farmer, and she met him at uni, and they moved over.
But here's the thing: we saw a picture of her, and we've seen the picture of her husband. Neither of them look like the dad. But they do look a bit like the mom. So it's confusing as fuck.
It really is.
Maybe the mother and father are brother and sister. Make much more sense. Maybe they should just remove...
I'm not bringing incest into the Garfield Christmas special. I want to point that out.
Maybe they should just remove, all the human characters, and then,
Well, they do, because most of the time it's like Garfield and Odie and Normal, noodling around. And then in the Saturday morning cartoon version... It's split with USA Farms or American Farms, something like that, with, not Otis, Orville the pig, And there's like a little there's a little chicken called Sheldon because he's just two legs coming out of an egg because he's still in his shell.
Yeah, but my point was...
It's implied he has a pinball machine inside of his shell.
They should do a thing. Like the Garfield without Garfield. Like do Garfield without all the human characters. And just like in the actual episode thing here, remove all the dialogue and the characters and just have empty rooms without, people speaking. And it would make much more sense. Genealogically, it would make much more sense.
Garfield. Garfield factored very little into the special that bears his name.
He's like, I'm Garfield. I'm depressed.
I'm contractually obligated to make a witty comeback at this point in time. There was lots of songs in it. There was far more songs than I remembered. I remembered the John singing a song in the beginning, but...
Our Christmas here in America, it closely resembles Omega's family's Christmas that New Hagen has visited.
What? No, okay, first
you're singing... No, it's a bunch of Americans in the snow having a party, and then you've got...
In the suburbs.
And then you've got a bunch of... They got presents under a big fucking tree.
Everybody does that.
And then you got people fucking singing songs that I don't understand.
Okay, my Uncle Joe
is
quite musically talented. So he would sometimes, like, after dinner, go in and, like, sit down at the piano and play... Occasionally people would sing... I wouldn't, because I'd be... No. I did. His name was Kippers.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
I would be out with the other cousins watching TV, or after it became a certain chronological time, there were game consoles involved, so we were all just playing video games and stuff. But my mom's cousin, Barbie. Her name is Barbara. She used to go by Barbie. She married a man whose name is Kenneth, so they go by Bobby and Moose instead of Barbie and Ken. So. My mom's cousin is...
They had the theme and they ruined it.
Oh, they're great folks. But anyway, so she's spent decades as a kindergarten teacher and a school administrator and stuff, so she would always coordinate the singing of the 12 Days of Christmas, and it became a wee little tradition. And so, like, everybody would get handed out parts and stuff like that, and the first year that Hagen came, I was like, oh, this is great, here, honey, we'll be together. And you had that look on your face, this deer in the headlights look. So I was like, okay, we'll be 12, or no, 11. So we're gonna have to do it twice.
I don't know.
And then there was our time, and I'm like 11, and she's like, and I had to finish it myself, and I can't sing, and looking at me in absolute panic as the rest of the songs just like 5 golden rings. Okay.
I don't know the song. I don't want to know the song. They had dances and everything and timing and...
A while ago, I was trying to like run down. She goes, "No, don't tell me. Please don't tell me the 12 days of... No!"
My mind is too full of things not related to Christmas. Christmas it doesn't deserve a place.
12 p.m.'s whinging. One Brexit deal for Jeremy Corbyn. So anyway, there's very little with Garfield involved. Don't die. Sorry, she was molesting me. I'll be immediately filing paperwork. But no, so, yeah, there's surprisingly little Garfield in this special that bears his name. But, like, Grandma, like, goes off and off, well, not goes off and off, but she's recalling her late husband and how special Christmas was to him, even though he didn't like to say, and kind of very, like, self-aware for the 80s, like, well, he was the kind of man that maybe he didn't show as much emotion as he should to his sons, but I could tell that deep down inside, and, like, it's actually kind of affecting, and...
It's the sort of guy that would wear a cravat.
No, because he's a
farmer.
While
doing the farming.
No, there's no cravat involved.
He's like, I have a pipe and I'm cutting wood.
So, at some point in the night, Odie goes off into the barn to assemble a present for Garfield, and Garfield follows him, and he finds a little treasure trove of love letters that Grandpa had sent to Grandma like 50 years previous. And you went off and off about that.
Well, they're like 50-year-old letters, and they're in the barn in the middle of winter, and the barn has an open front, and, like, I don't think it's very likely that the letters would have survived very much.
Yeah, but, like, they could have been up the attic or something for, like, 50 years.
Yeah, she would have found them then.
No, but she's old. She can't go up the ladder to the attic, so Doc Boy was cleaning it out, looking for, like, Christmas stuff. He's like, well, I better take all this old stuff out to the barn, like, 2 days ago.
That is not expressed in the thing, so that's fan canon.
If it's not in shots, it doesn't occur. Didn't exist.
Do you know who my favorite Garfield character is?
Warner Herzog. He's gonna be in Star Wars.
Bill Odie.
Oh, again, abuse. But yeah, so then Christmas morning happens, and They sing another song, and then Garfield gives the love letters to Granny, and she's happy, and then Odie gives his back scratcher to Garfield, and Garfield is happy.
Because he made a back scratcher.
Yeah, that's what it was. Which is
and then Spider-Man turns up.
Spider-Man does not turn up.
And then the drugs kicked in finally.
There was no drugs and no Spider-Man. I mean, actually, she put on the honest trailer that they did the other day for the Japanese Spider-Man, so it actually is on the screen behind us, but that's not the point.
And then there's a bit when they were driving to the fucking farm and you're having this little dialogue, we're going Christmas, etc., etc. And the car keep passing the same fucking tree.
Yeah, the animation budget was surprisingly insufficient. Like, it was really, really bad.
So I can only guess that John is going in a perfect circle of about 5 feet circumference, past the same fucking tree. Honey
Sat-Nav hadn't been invented then. That was still the 80s.
It's like, oh, Doc, boy, what's John doing there? I think he's driving around in a circle. I don't know. Someone will tell him he's actually arrived. No, we hate him.
They don't, though. Actually, that's kind of interesting. John's family really do seem to have love and affection for him, unlike every other human being in like, the Garfield world. Like, I know that he eventually ends up with Liz the vet after, decades? But, as I can recall, like, he was kind of always like Dilbert in that manner. Because he just always was trying to date women and always just came across as this weird, horrible creeper.
Well, in case of Dilbert, we can see why. Because Scott Adams has no soul.
Well, Scott Adams hates women.
Scott Adams hates Scott Adams.
Which is weird because
which is good.
I could recall that he was married. But anyway, so that was the Garfield Christmas special. See, I deliberately moved that up over other Rankin Bass ones. Because I thought that you'd appreciate it. Also, it's short.
Well, the Rankin Bass ones are certainly rank and bad.
They're an American institution.
They belong in an American institution.
No, because they did a lot of really great stuff. They did the animated Hobbit and animated Lord of the Rings in conjunction.
Okay, sorry. They belong in a non-American institution. They belong in a non-union, Latin American institution.
Well, actually, it was a co-production with the Japanese production.
They belong in a Japanese institution.
So the road goes ever on with us. So this has been the 6th night of Christmas. We're halfway through. Joy and adulations and excelsis.
Are we?
Glory you unto the Lord.
Fuck the Lord.
For unto them a child will be born in the manger. I used to know the whole speech from Charlie Brown Christmas.
Fuck Charlie Brown.
Lights, please. Hey, Charles Schultz had his heart in the right place. He was a good person.
Well, I'm glad he had his heart in the right place, because otherwise we wouldn't have functioned long enough to make him let him write the stuff.
Well, he has passed away, but can you even guess what we're going to watch tomorrow?
Does it involve lightsabers?
No.
Okay.
It might involve
Star Trek?
No. There's never been a Star Trek Christmas special, has
Is it the Feast of Stephen?
No, that's a day.
No, it's actually an episode of Doctor Who as well. It's the original Doctor Who Christmas special. It was a heart.
Oh, the one where he basically talks to the audience.
Yes.
I'm going to break the fourth wall, everyone.
It's like, this is a madhouse. It's full of Arabs.
Oh no.
It was just a very ridiculous episode, nothing to do with Christmas, and then suddenly the Doctor says, "Merry Christmas to all of you at home," and it's been lost.
Doctor, who are you talking to? Nobody, nothing. Gallifrey. Actually, the Feast of Stephen would be a really great name for a Christmas-themed Steven Universe episode. Although, did you know there are no formal holidays in Steven Universe?
Well, of course.
Only people's birthdays.
Because it's Steven's universe.
No.
He's in charge. He is God.
It is the world, but it's the world slightly different. Like, they live in Delmarva, which is a state on the East Coast. Well, there's the Delmarva Peninsula, which is part of, Delaware and Maryland. That's
when I watched all the episodes of Steven Universe in existence...
watched 5.
When I did my thesis on Steven Universe, it always struck me that it would look more like Florida.
Well, no, because there's winter there, so they're in the Mid-Atlantic, honey. They're basically, Beach City could very well be Ocean City, Maryland. When
I became the most, learned expert in Steven Universe, I did not see any evidence of winter.
You'd learn a lot more if you'd watch more than 5 episodes. Well, no, then there's, basically, they've said that, they don't have, their Thanksgiving episode, there was no actual holiday. It was just, they want to have, a harvest and stuff like that. And Rebecca Sugar has said that so she doesn't want to alienate any child that's watching the show and oh, I don't celebrate those holidays. So, there's little parts of the history of the world that are slightly different. Well, except for like the gem invasion of Earth and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, that happened in the '60s, not in the modern day.
I like that the state next door to that borders Delmarva is Keystone, because that's the nickname of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. That's why we have that little symbol. When
are they going to reveal that Steven Universe is actually just his mother, with his dad's sort of ejaculate sort of grown and turned into like some sort of simulacrum of flesh around him, like a flesh golem with a crystal heart, containing the soul of just his mother?
Well, honey, that's probably on Tumblr already, but only until the 17th. Oh,
I'm really glad that I got the word simulacrum in there. What phantasmagoria is that?
I love that word. So we'll see you tomorrow night. It'll be grand, sure.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
It'll never be grand.
That's probably true.
I have to watch more Christmas stuff. It'll never be grand.
See no evil. Speak no evil. Hear no evil.
I can't hear you.